On today's episode of The Front Row, we are in the offices of LIPA, and our special guest is Jeff Hunsinger, who is the CEO of LIPA and of the Buddy Holly Hall, and he's here to tell us about a very exciting chamber music experience that's on the way. Jeff, thank you very much for being our guest on the show again today.
Yeah, thank you. Great, really appreciate you having me.
Of course. I think most people know about the Buddy Holly Hall, but they may not know exactly the relationship between LIPA and the Hall and how that all works. If you could tell us about both organizations and the sort of symbiotic relationship that they have.
Absolutely, yeah. So this organization started LIPA, that is, started really over 13 years ago with the vision of a performing arts center and really focused on bringing high quality arts to the region and to the community, and along with arts, bring a place for education. So those are really our focus. And over the course of those years leading up to today, we were really working to raise the funds to construct the hall. And so now we're 3 years into operation, and we're expanding our offerings, and this is a great example. This chamber music programming that we're bringing you is a great example of how we're expanding that. And we have artists coming in that are they're traveling all over the country, all over the world, frankly, and performing this incredible music. And they're also going to be working with students while they're here.
Oh, excellent. So just to backtrack a little bit, LIPA, that's an anagram. Tell us what that stands for.
Lubbock Entertainment and Performing Arts Association.
Okay, and that's what you do.
That's correct.
And part of what it is bringing chamber music to the South Plains. And in the case of the concert that's coming up on November 10th, it's some Beethoven piano sonatas. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so Gilles Vonsattel is a pianist that if you do a little research, you'll be able to see all of his accomplishments. He's won piano competitions. He's played with orchestras all over the world. He's played with the Chicago Symphony. He's played solo recitals. He's played in ensembles and chamber ensembles, and just is really at the top of his game and one of the best in the world at playing the piano. And he's going to be playing some of the greatest pieces ever written for the repertoire that Beethoven wrote, and they're just it's going to be an incredible experience in Crickett's Theater at Buddy Holly Hall, which is an intimate setting. It's a 400-seat venue, which if you haven't had the experience to be in, he's going to be playing our 9-foot grand Steinway, and it's really just an opportunity that isn't available in this community very often, and I'm excited that people are going to be able to come and experience this level of musicianship in the city.
Sure. And what better repertoire than Beethoven's sonatas? Fantastic. How many will he play?
Well, he was scheduled to play 3, and I was just notified earlier this week that he's adding another at the top of the second half, and so that's the level of effort and thought that's going into these programs. The artist is working and had designed a program, and as he was getting closer to the performance, thought, you know what, this is going to be better if I adjust and if I add this piece. And so he's planning to talk about that and why he added it, and tell a little bit about the piece. And so it's just, again, it's kind of an example of how unique this experience is. And it's going to be right here, right downtown.
Right. And something people might want to realize is that it's not just 4 sonatas by Beethoven. Beethoven went through periods, and so there will be quite a lot of variety in the musical event that we'll hear. Even though it's one composer, it's going to be a lot of different facets of that composer, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. The range of composition from Beethoven's early years to his late period of composition is remarkable, and there isn't another composer that has evolved such as he had over his career. So this program specifically And it's part of a broader series of 3 concerts that are really going to explore Beethoven's entirety of composition. So we hope that you'll be able to come and enjoy 3 different musical settings of Beethoven's works over his entire career by experiencing these 3 different programs. But the piano sonatas are going to be his early period and his middle period primarily. And the works that, as I said earlier, they are giants in the repertoire of the piano repertoire,
Right.
and they're very different in the experience you'll have through those pieces, from very light and the not just the musicality, the construct of the music, but the form that you'll experience throughout the different pieces is dramatically different from piece to piece.
Right. And you said also that he will be doing some other things while he's here, some academic work. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we, one of the components of this initiative is to bring in artists that aren't here to really bring a different experience to the students that do live here and work and study here. And so he is going to be doing a master class in partnership with Texas Tech University and a few other universities in town that we've coordinated to have them come, and several students will play for him, and he's going to give them instruction and feedback and some coaching on their playing, and it's a really unique experience and really powerful to have that level of quality in town and teaching the students that are here.
Right. And as you said, he's I assume on a big tour. He's a Swiss artist, is that correct?
Correct.
Gilles Vonsattel, I guess is his name.
Correct.
Yeah. And so this is just part of a longer, bigger thing for him, I guess.
Right. I mean, he is an active touring professional. Again, playing in chamber ensembles. He's actively recording. He's currently recording Beethoven sonatas, as you might imagine, and traveling and performing with orchestras all over the country as well. So, he resides in New York. He's been a long time, resident of the United States, but is, again, traveling and touring and playing all over the world.
Right. You mentioned 2 other concerts that have Beethoven as part of their components. Tease us a little bit about what's coming and what does that mean?
Sure. So we have the Bush Trio, and that's going to be a performance. It's a piano trio playing Beethoven piano trios, and that is going to be in February. So that's early February. And then we're going to have the Colibri Duo, which is going to be performing in April. And that is a duo, as it sounds, piano and cello. And that's going to be include Beethoven cello sonatas, which are amazing, but it's also going to expand a little bit and include some Bach and some other music that is complementary to the Beethoven works that are on the program.
Right. So Beethoven being sort of the linchpin of all of these concerts.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So the concert that's coming up, tell us time, date, place, those sorts of things.
Yeah, so it's this Sunday. It is November 10 at 3 p.m. at Crickett's Hall. And if you want to get tickets, it's the tickets are extremely reasonable for the talent that's coming in. So if you're a student, you can go for $14. If you want to buy a ticket for yourself, it's $29. Starting at $29. So it's very accessible. That's another one of our goals, is to really make this art and this quality of performance available and accessible to everybody in the community. So it's 3 p.m. on Sunday, and if you want to get tickets, you can call the box office, or you can just go to our website at buddyhollyhall.org.
All right. Jeff Hunsinger is the CEO of LIPA, which is the Lubbock Entertainment
and Performing Arts Association.
There we go, right. And he's and also Buddy Holly Hall, and he's been our guest today on the front row so that we can find out about all of these wonderful chamber events so that you can attend and enjoy all of the cultural life that we have here in the city. Jeff, as always, thank you for being our guest on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.